Good morning, everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning recipes, a little bit of everything. We're going to show you how to make wicking tubs today, and you're going to understand why you may want to plant in them. Stay tuned.
Ready?
We are ready. My husband's going to show you how to make a wicking tub and what the benefits of it is. Or are.
The benefits of it are it's a container, and you can control of course, your soil like any other container. But the real nice thing is that you fill it with water, and the soil and the plants are able to wick the water up through the soil. It just absorbs it like a sponge. And here in Texas, you know, you got to water. If you have containers, you have to water every single day, twice a day. And if you got, you'll just lose them. If you miss one day, you'll lose it. With these, you probably can get away with, depending on where they are, if they're in the shade, they'll maybe like once a week, you know, and depending on how much water you fill them with too. But yeah, up to like, I think maybe every 3 days in the heat of the summer. It also depends on how big your plants are as well.
So why do you put the pipes down in the bottom?
Well, the whole idea is and this is just a regular old tote that you can get from like the big box store. And this one here is a 27 gallon. And it's got a bunch of junk in it. So these are French drain pipes, and they're flexible, and they come in a big roll like here, and then they're serrated, I guess it is, or they got holes poked in them like this. But anyways, the idea here is to bring your water level up about halfway, or about 3/4, 2/3 of the way. Leave about an inch of water in the bottom, as these sit in the bottom, and then you'll bring your water up to about within an inch of the top of your pipe, or whatever other container that you'd be using. And then what that allows is, and the soil is right down here, you can see, and you do like 15 to 20% of the bottom needs to be open, to where the soil goes right down on top of this, and then it comes down like this, and then it sits in water right here on the bottom, and then it just gradually wicks up. And then of course, as the plant's roots go down, they'll tap it too, and they really feed as much as they want as far as water needs. But the idea here is to have about no more than 20%, and it's really, I think, about 15%. And you just calculate that by the size of your container. And then if you're using these, then, you know, just do the math on it and then come up with a rough. It doesn't have to be exact, but if you don't have enough space on the bottom, you can see how they got pushed to one side. You can see the space right here. If they don't have enough space, then it won't work. It won't wake up. But if it's got too much, like if they're very short, let's say cut off like here, then it'll just be a big waterlogged mess. So, it won't work like that. So it's the sweet spot. And the sweet spot, according to Leon, and this is where I got this design, and, everything got pretty much just kind of tweaking on his, gardening with Leon, tweaking on his designs and getting advice from him. But about 15 to 20% is the sweet spot.
Okay. So what's that PVC pipe for? Well,
this is where so how it goes is, this right here is just an 1.25 inch piece of PVC pipe. You can cut this really at any length you want. It's cut at an angle, and you're going to put your water in. The water will fill through here after it's filled with dirt, with your soil, right? But when using the French drain pipe, you have to keep the dirt from going inside the pipe, right? So what you do is you take your pipe and you got it cut to length with your approximate 15 to 20% exposure. And then you take a piece of weed cloth, and this is a 4 foot, and I cut it like 3 foot pieces. And you got to use the good stuff. If you use the crummy stuff, it'll just fall apart in one season, and then, you know, it's
You have to start all over.
yeah, you'll have to. This way, these things supposedly will last for, you know, like 3, 4, I don't know, 5 years, depending on, I guess, how much sun they're getting. You know, if the container degrades. But anyhow, you take this and you put it in. And what you want to do is you want to tuck it down in the sides like this, and make sure it goes down in the sides. All right, and then you take your dirt, which we'll do in a minute, and then you fill the dirt up. And don't allow your dirt to get behind your weed cloth. You want like that. You want your pipes protected from dirt going in it. This will allow the water to go in, but not the dirt.
And it keeps the water down.
Right. So, but before we do this, what you have to do is I'll explain about this. This is where you fill it in a moment. But what you have to do is you have to cut a hole for water drainage to maintain the proper level inside of your container. And you put the hole on the side.
And you want it about the height of your pipe?
Well, now you want about an inch below the top of whatever container that you're using. So, in this case, this is a 4-inch pipe, so we're going to do a 3-inch.
Okay.
3 inches from the bottom.
Okay.
You can use like 6-inch pipe, but I couldn't find that easily. I'd have to order it. And you can also use milk jugs, and there's various different ways to do it. But anyways, this using 4-inch pipe and a 27-gallon container gives you about approximately 7 or 8 gallons worth of water that sits in the bottom. If you use a 6-inch pipe, then that's going to increase, of course, your water level on the bottom. You come up 5 inches, right, from the bottom for your drain hole on the side. So that's kind of the thing. You want to maintain that the airspace in there. That's kind of one of the keys to the whole thing. That's a key component of the whole system. The way it works is maintaining the airspace in your container and the water. So you want water up until your 3-inch mark, which will drain out the side here. And when it drains, then it's going to leave airspace between the dirt that's on top of it and the water underneath. And that keeps it from rotting. So it's not just sitting there, you know, stagnant out and rotted and blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, and plus your beneficial microbes and all that kind of stuff, they need air. If they've got air inside, then everything works right.
So are you going to drill a hole?
Yeah, so you got to drill a hole, and you want about a half-inch hole. And I just use just a paddle bit, but any drill bit will work. And the thing is, you can use a tape measure and measure from the bottom, you know, or you can just eyeball it. You can lay your pipe in, and you can just kind of eyeball it, measure an inch down from here. But after doing a few of these with this stuff,
you got it down.
Well, I figured out the easy way to do it is to cut a little piece off like that. And you can put that. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I think so.
And you can just lay that down inside. And then,
so you know about where. Here, let me come down here. Okay.
You see
and that you're measuring it.
Yeah, and I just use that as a template because I know the pipe's going to lay down here in the bottom just like this.
Okay.
And then I go down about an inch.
And you just do that on one side?
Yeah, just on one side.
Okay.
That's gone. And
sorry guys, I'm trying to get it back into the. Okay. So how much did that tub cost? Just to give them an idea of how much.
I've seen them for different places have pretty much the same ones, but they've gone for like $9, $8 or $9, all the way up to like $13 at one place.
Okay.
So I don't know if it depends on what type of year it is too. I don't. They make it more expensive, and plus, you know, plastic shortages and all that crap going on. So.
Okay.
So, anyways, so you can see now when your pipe lays down, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to drain out.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So you'll have water up to this level all around the whole side.
Okay.
Again, with a 27 gallon, you could do a lot bigger pipes and get a lot more water in it too.
Okay.
That's for sure. So you want to hit the happy medium in this case. But the deal is with this stuff is that I had to buy 100 feet of this stuff. You can buy it at one of the box stores. I think they sell it in like 10-foot sections too, that aren't the big coil.
But we're using so much of it, you got 100 feet.
Yeah, I needed to get quite a bit of it, and I eat it. I used, I can't remember, but anyways, about 15 of them. I can't remember. Anyways, you can use all kinds of containers. You can use milk jugs too, and if you use milk jugs, you just take your milk jug and you poke holes in it with like an ice pick or a drill or whatever, a small hole, like 1/8 of an inch hole, and then you just set those down. And when you get one of these with the milk jugs in there, I think I got, man, how many did I get? 2, 4, 6, 8. I think it was like about 9 gallons that I got with the milk jugs.
Do you fill the milk jugs full of water before you set them in there?
No.
You just poke a hole in them and let them absorb
it's just
in?
like the milk jug. All you do in a milk jug, we'll make another video on that, but on the, because just save your milk jugs and you can use them, and then that way you're not having to deal with pipe and cutting pipe.
Okay.
But if you're going to make, this will chew up 2, 4, 6, 8 easily. I think I've used 9 in one, so it'll use up milk jugs real quick. That's why I had to go with the pipe, because I ran out of milk jugs. But you can use them. But if you're going to make a bunch of them, you'll probably want to buy some pipe.
Okay. So now what?
Okay, so next you take your pipes and you put your pipes in. Alright, so now we got our hole, we got our pipe, approximately 15%, close enough, you know, it's working for me. And then you take your weed cloth and push that down to the side. Tuck it down in the sides because you want some of your dirt to get down in there. You don't want it sitting up on top. You want it into where the dirt can actually get kind of around the pipes.
Okay.
You know, otherwise it should not work. Okay, and then now here's the pipe. So this is just a regular old piece of PVC. This is 1 1/4 inch. It don't matter what size really you use. I suppose you could use even 3/4 inch if you got some laying around. It just makes it harder to fill. I found it's easier with a larger pipe. I've used like 1.5 inches, or I don't know. Anyways, I like these okay. The and the inch is it 1 1/4 inch? I think. Yeah, I think it's 1 1/4 inch. If you get like, I don't have a Gatorade bottle anywhere, but if you get a Gatorade bottle and well, that's for a different video. We'll go into that later. Okay. Okay, so now you put the pipe in, and this is where I'm using a 1 1/4 inch pipe, just regular old PVC. You can use whatever size pipe you want. 3/4 inch makes it kind of hard to fill because you fill it through the hole. I mean, you don't want too big a pipe because you're going to get evaporation, so it's kind of a happy medium, big enough. This works good, you know, whatever, 1 1/4 inch. So anyways, with this, and also this is cut at, I think I cut this at like a 45-degree angle. It's important that you do that so the pipe's not laying flat on the bottom, because it's going to slide right here. And if it lays,
so it's in between the weed cloth and the
it goes in between the weed cloth. Very important, in between the weed cloth and next to the pipe. Basically, I think Leon recommends going, I think, close to the hole. I found either way it'll work. I found if you put it close to the hole, it's kind of,
It drains out.
yeah, you got to fill it slower. If I put it over here, then I can fill it faster, you know. So anyways, I'm putting it down here. And then you put your cut side down to keep it off the bottom, because some dirt is eventually going to collect on the bottom, you know, it'll get past the weed cloth. So you set it down, doesn't matter which way, just like that. And then put the weed cloth back around it.
Okay.
Like that. And then you take your dirt, whatever.
We're using Miracle Grow potting mix. We can use veggie mix.
No, you need to use potting mix.
Oh, okay. Well,
It doesn't matter what brand it is, but you have to use a potting mix. You cannot use dirt from you cannot use garden soil or any kind of dirt or anything like that. It has to be potting mix because it has to be super fluffy.
Okay.
If it condenses down and it has sand in it and all the other crap they put in it,
okay, that's good.
then it's not going to work. It won't wet. So put some in the middle, put it right in the middle, and then kind of back off. And then take it and then crumble it up and stick it down. Or this is what I did anyway. Stick it down in the sides. And try not to get any
underneath the weed cloth. Okay.
So you hold the weed cloth, you know, like that, and see how much will go down. Or maybe you can't see, but quite a bit will go down. You don't want to really pack it tight, you know, but just make sure the weed cloth is down and there's dirt in it, and the edges, it's not going to leak out here. Behind the weed cloth, and then more.
So how many bags fits in this 27-gallon of this large bag of Miracle Grow?
Bag and a half on this big.
A bag and a half, okay.
Yeah, it's a bag and a half on these.
So that's about $15. The tub is about $9. Pipe.
But you can use milk jugs too.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not paying for it. And if you can save up milk jugs, you can use you can use coffee cans.
The plastic ones?
Yeah, you can use metal coffee cans too. You can use all kinds of stuff. You can use, and keep it in the middle as you add it to it.
Okay.
Yeah, water bottles, anything that you can really squeeze in there.
Like the 2-liter Coke bottles, stuff like that?
You can use all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Any kind of plastic bottle or container, even detergent.
Just clean them out real well.
So at this point, it'd be a good idea. You could add in some fertilizer, and then whatever you like. It kind of depends on what you're growing. But at this point, since this one's going to be a flower arrangement, so we're going to go ahead and fill it up. So.
So when you did our vegetables, you added fertilizer before you added the last batch of dirt.
Yeah, and it's kind of a concoction. I kind of loosely followed.
Depending on what you plant.
Yeah, you can go to Leon's channel, and then he's got his own blend, and then, I don't know, I kind of take a little bit, you know, just whatever you like. Just do your research and find out what particular plant you're growing wants. And then if you think that your soil needs amending, then do so.
Okay, so you're going to add,
so then now,
top it off.
Yeah, so let me go get some more dirt. There's something cubic liters. Anyways, it's a big bag. How much do they are? About a half a bag right there.
So 1.5 bags.
You could probably put some more down. I haven't packed it. You know, I don't smash it down or anything because I want to keep it
Nice and
aerated.
fluffy, yeah.
But yeah, it compacts, you know, it'll go down some. You may, depending on where you put it, you may want to put more. If you put them outside, you want to pile them up, at least make it high and kind of mount it, you know, so there's an angle kind of going down, and it'll help to shed the water off of it.
So do you fill it full of water before you plant?
No. Well, I mean, I suppose you could. Well, no, I don't. Now you're ready to plant in it. So you plant in it, and then put whatever you're going to put in it, and then you fill it. Get the hose, and just, you know, not full blast, but, you know, nice stream, and then you fill until you see water starting to come out the hole. And I also give it just a little bit of, you know, top water too, to help it touch, you know, in the middle and get the whole process kick-started.
So tell us why this is a good idea, and how many tomato plants or how many pepper plants can you put in this?
You could do two tomatoes. I think you can do 3 pepper plants, 2 tomato plants, 2 tomato plants and a pepper.
And do they use the same fertilizer?
Yeah.
So you want to isolate, if you're going to companion plant, you want to make sure they use the same fertilizer.
Yeah, and that's a big deal about companion planting that I'm learning too, is that, especially in a case like this, where you got them in a tub and you got them growing together, you definitely want to make sure you're doing companion plants and you're not fighting each other. I've got marigolds planted in some, and that, you know, it may, well, no, I think they're going to work pretty well. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I think they will work well. But I don't think like a lettuce and a tomato would be a good companion.
Okay. So once you plant, do you top water after you fill up the bottom?
Yeah, just a little bit, just enough to, you know, kind of get it wet.
Get your root system going.
Yeah, because once you get you get the water on the bottom, and that'll start the wicking process immediately. But if you have seedlings or starters in there or what have you, it's going to take a day or so for it to actually wick up.
Okay.
So just lightly top water enough to where you think you can make the top water meet the bottom and kind of kickstart the process, and then you don't need to water at all after that for a significant time. Again, depending on how much sun it's getting, how big your plants are, blah blah blah, whether, you know, what the temperature is. But yeah, and that's the beauty about these things. So you're not out every day. Well, you're out every day anyways watering, but it cuts down the frequency that you have to do it.
Okay. Well, thank you, honey, and I'll show them what we got going in the wicking tubs right now so we can see how good our plants are doing with the ones you've already done. So thank you very much. So you just saw my husband build a wicking tub. Here are 2 Roma tomatoes, guys, and you can see, and we've got a jalapeno or a jalapeno in there. You can see just how well it is liking its environment. These things are taking off, and let me take you on the south side and show you how some of the other plants are doing. Here are 2 of our mortgage lifters, and we went ahead and put some oregano in there. And then we have 2 more of the mortgage lifters, and guys, look, I'm starting to get buds on my tomato plants. Here are some that we put a serrano pepper with 2 Romas. And we have 2 more mortgage lifters in here. And look at the cabbage. The cabbage is really liking this environment way more than when I have put it directly in the ground. And look at these pumpkins. Look at this. We already have a little pumpkin coming in. So my husband is going to move these pumpkins to a special place in the yard because we're going to let them flourish and grow out. You know, these are a vining plant, so they're going to grow absolutely gorgeous in our front yard underneath a shade tree. And we're hoping to get some pumpkins. This is my grandson's pumpkins. Him and my husband planted these seeds gosh, several weeks back, if not several months, and it is loving this wicking tub environment. Now, what he did do here is, if you're going to put your wicking tubs outside, you want to go ahead and cover them as well with your weed cloth, because when it rains, you want to make sure it doesn't get a deluge on top, and it also protects against different weed seeds. So keep that in mind, and be sure and cut your spots out so that your plants can grow up through. And then we have some more tomatoes down here. These are Romas, and these are the Perones. So we think that we're going to like this wicking tub, and we think we're going to like this planting method on down the line here. You can see, look at that shard, guys. Look at my shard. On down the line, you can see everything seems to be loving it. Again, you can isolate your fertilization, you can isolate your watering needs, and just watch things beautifully grow and enjoy. These would be great for a patio. These are going to be great in your garden. These are going to be great on your back porch. All kinds of things you can grow in these wicking tubs. In fact, I've got some ginger here that is starting to come up and doing very well. So that is the gist of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, we ask that you click that like button. We have lots more great ideas to help you guys. This is a kind of a new gardening method for us. We have always been a conventional gardener. In the last year, we have just done so many different things. We've got the raised beds, we got the wicking tubs, we got the high tunnel, we got the outside gardening. So lots of ways that you can make sure that you're growing your own food, and just enjoy so much. So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more great ideas. Hit that little bell up in the right hand corner so you know when we post a new video, and we'll be in touch.